Hi guys, I am here with Todd, and I always get your last name wrong. Is it Barrage?
So close. Marriage. It's like
Barrage.
marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. The I guess you could say the covers guy on YouTube.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, one of the
One of them.
many
There's a
covers.
bunch of us.
Yeah. Here to just talk and have some fun, basically,
Yeah.
as always. So today, as always, as I do on these podcasts, I've got 14 questions, as
Ooh,
that's what I tend to do. Just fit as many as I can in.
that's a good format.
This is a green nightmare, but let's just try it anyway. So when you are ready, let's get into the questions.
I think I'm good now. I've got my drinks in front of me. I got my chapstick in case I get a little dry.
Cool.
I'm set.
Right. So the first thing I want to ask is, how did you get into doing covers on your channel?
Yeah. Okay, so this goes way, way, way back. So the initial start of me doing covers goes back to, I want to say 2010, maybe 2009, way back. So I had started a recording studio out of my parents' basement, and you need to be able to like get clients, right? So
Yeah.
in order to get clients, you need to have work. So what I would do is I would record covers, put them on YouTube, and then those videos would go out. People would see them. They'd notice they sounded pretty good. And so they would hit me up and want to work with me. So that's how it started way, way back then. What ended up happening is the studio took off. I stopped doing YouTube pretty much entirely, and just focused on recording other artists. And that's how I spent basically my whole 20s. And then once I hit 30, I kind of had an epiphany. And I was like, man, instead of recording other people's music for a living, what if I recorded other people's music for a living? So I went from recording, like producing other bands,
Yeah.
to just being a full-time YouTube cover artist. I made that decision in 2020, and then I started posting videos at the beginning of 2021. And yeah, that was basically it. I've always had a love for covers. One of my favorite songs growing up was Goldfinger's 99 Red Balloons.
Okay.
It's just a really good cover.
Is that a cover? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's by Nina originally. It's a German pop song. But Goldfinger's cover of it was just one of those songs that was so iconic for me, and I knew it was a cover. And that I was always looking into just like pop punk covers. That was just something I would look up online all the time, even before it was a big thing on YouTube. So there were channels like Ska Tune Network, Minority 905, and Alex Melton were, hugely influential in me making the decision to do it full time, because I saw them doing it pretty much full time, and I was like, oh shit, that's like a thing you can do. I want to do it. So that's what helped make me the decision to go full time a few years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Alex is still releasing stuff now, just doing covers still, and I've only heard one of the covers. It was the I think it was the Amity Affliction Goes Country. I think it was.
Yeah, I love that he does that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I did not expect that song to work, but it did.
That's pretty much like, and he did that with Duality by Slipknot. He turned that into a really good country song too. And I think that to me those are the best covers.
Yeah.
Is when you hear it, like you just hear the name, like Duality by Slipknot, but it's country, and your first reaction is, what?
Yeah.
But then you listen to it, it actually works. So stuff like that was really influential in me doing my like super emo series, where it's, break stuff by Limp Bizkit, but it's super emo. It's like, what do you mean emo Limp Bizkit? But then you listen to it, and hopefully you have a good time with it, and you find something unexpected in the lyrics maybe you didn't know was buried in there. There's a lot of emotion in a lot of those like metal and older rock songs that kind of gets hidden behind the whole like macho masculine thing, that when you emo it up, it really exposes the emotional nature of the music.
Yeah, I did not expect that cover to necessarily work, because it looks so different. Like when I saw an acoustic guitar in the thumbnail, I was like, okay. And I was like,
how are you gonna do this?
I was like, how is this going to work? A song that is mostly just electric guitars.
Yeah, and it's like the most bonehead riffs too in the original, which like they're I'm not disparaging Wes Borland's writing at all. Like they're the coolest bonehead riffs ever, but they are bonehead riffs.
Yeah. So out of all the like more weirdest choices you could make into a cover, what would you want to choose that you haven't done yet?
Haven't done yet. I have this idea. I was gonna actually do it this past Christmas, but I got COVID, so I wasn't able to do it. And it's like very Christmas specific.
Right.
But so I don't know if you've seen this video, because it's way back before my channel was getting any views, and a lot of those videos a lot of people haven't seen. But I think the video is just called Sonic the Christmas Hedgehog, and it's just the Green Hill Zone song, the one that's like so the first level in Sonic.
Right.
So I took that, I made it pop punk, and then I made the lyrics, hello, my name is Sonic, it's Christmas and I am Sonic, and it's like 3 minutes of just those lyrics. Just hello, my name is Sonic, it's Christmas and I am Sonic. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I could ever do. But then this past year, I had the idea of doing Friday by Rebecca Black.
Okay.
But it's pop punk, and it's Christmas, and I'm Sonic. And I don't know. Hopefully, I'll pull it off this year, this upcoming holiday season. I would love to make it happen. I think that's the dumbest idea I've had.
That needs to happen.
Yeah, like just for the meme factor alone, I really want to make that one a reality. Another one is I would love to do like Cannibal Corpse, but super emo.
Yeah, I don't know how that one would translate.
Yeah, but like I was able to do Slayer.
Yeah.
So I think if it's not. I mean, they're like Cannibal Corpse is way fucking heavier than Slayer, so like it's gonna be more of a stretch. But I think I could do it, but I don't know how yet.
Yeah, especially with the lyrics as well.
Yes, I would have to pick like a very specific song where like the lyrics could actually translate. That's the hardest part with those transformative covers, is like finding the song. It's got to make sense.
Like, I'm not gonna say some of the song titles, but you should definitely not pick those ones.
Right? Like there's some stuff you just like can't fucking say.
Yeah. Yeah, you would instantly get cancelled for making songs like that.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So it's like I got to be really careful. If I ever choose to do it, I have to be careful how I choose to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Kind of carrying on with what we were just saying just then about the covers. Is there any like that you would like to cover but you can't cover because copyright and stuff like that?
I don't think so. I think like the only artist I know of who really gives anyone a hard time about covers, because like the licensing process for covers is pretty simple. Yeah. If a song has been released publicly, you can basically pay what's called a mechanical license, and you don't need anyone's permission. You just pay the license and you cover the song, and that's it.
So like a one-time payment sort of thing.
Well, it's like a percentage. Yeah. But like there's no permission, there's no negotiation. However, Bryan Adams and the Eagles have a tendency to try to go over that whole system and like sue people for covering their stuff and take down videos on YouTube of like Heaven or Hotel California. So those are songs that I know I couldn't cover, but I don't know that I necessarily would want to in the first place.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good. I think anything I want to cover, I kind of can.
Yeah. Is that because of the bands or the label?
That's the band. That's Bryan Adams. That dude is a douche nozzle. I'll go on public record saying that. Bryan Adams is a wiener, and I don't think he understands the current musical landscape at all. He tries to be the he is, and he tries to be the voice of like Canadian creatives a lot of the time, and it's like, dude, no one thinks like you, man. Like, he's like the Lars Ulrich of Canada.
God.
Like, stop ruining the music industry for everyone, buddy. You're already rich and famous. You could just retire and stop talking, and it would be great.
Okay. Well, this might be a funny question, but if you were to tour with anybody, who would you tour with?
Oh man, that's a good question. Like, if I was opening for somebody,
yeah,
I feel like my dream, like, say there's like a 3-band bill, it would be like the Todd Barrage band, assuming that's a thing that exists. And then I would want to do something like a little varied, like Seosin and then Blink-182 kind of all in one night.
Yeah.
I think it would just be a really fun time. I know Sum 41's, they just announced they're disbanding. I think it would be cool to tour with them.
Yeah.
Especially the kinds of venues Sum 41 plays are the kinds of venues I would want to play. Where like Blink-182 maybe isn't a good example because they play arenas, and I hate arenas. It's too big. The audience is like 100 feet away or more. Like there's no intimacy there. I like clubs. Like if you go to a place and only 500 people can fit in the room, I like those kind of places. So Sum 41 tends to play club shows. So maybe I'm changing that to Sum 41. Seosin probably would still be on the club circuit if they were to do a headlining tour too.
What's the guy's name? The Your Broken Hero guy. What's he called?
I don't know.
You know, the guy who does all those like weird like meme stuff with bands like Blink.
Oh. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now.
What's his name?
Is it Matt Cutshall? Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how he does that kind of like a cruise festival for emo people, basically.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you would fit on that like really well without anybody knowing that you're a cover guy.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I'd really like to work with that guy quite a lot. I don't know how that would happen.
Yeah.
Especially because like he works with like the actual bands and like the actual nostalgic figures, and it's like I'm not that. Yeah. Because I grew up listening to that. Like I'm the audience for that, but it would be cool to work with him though. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I feel like you two could just probably do something ridiculous together.
Yeah, we could just crank everything to 11.
Yeah. Whilst we're on the topic of, venues,
yeah.
What's your take on, the music, like Ticketmaster venues, basically? Like the expense. Yeah, the whole thing's broken. So I have, it's like on a magnet on my fridge. I have a ticket from not super long ago. It was, I saw Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake together for $60 when they toured together. And so that Jay-Z and like the two of the biggest artists of all time in the same night for $60. When the Blink-182 tickets came out, I was I looked at the ticket prices and they were like $250, $300 for the shittiest seats, and I was like,
well, that's too much. So I refreshed it, hoping it would go down, and it just kept going up. And like within half an hour, ticket prices were like $700-800.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is obscene and disgusting. And so like I just kind of resigned to myself. Like, I'm not going to concerts anymore. Like, if it's not a small scale, like community center, local band kind of deal, like I'm not ever going to see any of my favorite bands ever again because I'm getting priced out of it. Because I'm a broke ass D-list YouTuber. Like, I might make minimum wage when you do all the math. Like, I'm not raking it in. I can't afford to fucking pay Ticketmaster prices. But on that note, a friend of mine, the day before Blink was playing in Toronto, which is the nearest big city to me, a friend of mine messaged me and he was like, man, we have tickets for Blink and we can't go. Do you want them? And so I actually got to see Blink for free, which was, I thought I would never get to see Blink 182 ever. Because I had that experience trying to buy tickets. I was like, this is impossible. But yeah, I did get to see them, and so it was really cool. But like, when I think about how much the tickets were, it wasn't worth what they were asking through Ticketmaster. Like, it was a great experience, but like $1,500 for me and my wife to go? That's insane.
Yeah. Like, I went to, I mean, I've been to plenty of shows because I go to shows pretty much nearly all the time. But recently, merch prices have been getting worse. Like, really.
Yeah, oh my God. I saw $50 t-shirts.
Like, the cheapest thing I saw at the last concert I went to was 70 quid, which would be
$100?
which would be more over where you are than it is here.
Wow, yeah. That's insane. Because I think what's going on is venues are taking a percentage of merch, and it's like that percentage is increasing. So it used to be like a 5 or a 10% split, 10, 20 years ago, or it was nothing. Now it's up in like 30 to 50%. Like, they're gouging the artists, which in turn means the artists have to gouge us. And merch prices in general, like the cost of production has gone up as well. Like, I know on my, when you buy merch on my site, my shirts are, I think they're like 38 Canadian dollars or something like that, including shipping. I don't make money if you buy a Todd shirt.
Yeah,
like it covers the cost of the shirt and it covers the shipping, and then it makes its way to you. And then, like, I might make $5 depending on the shirt.
Yeah.
I might lose $5 depending on the shirt. Like, I price myself to where I'm like, I would feel terrible personally charging more than this.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know, like, you're supposed to make money selling merch, but it's like I can't justify it charging what the industry rate is for. Like, why are t-shirts $50, $60, $70? It makes no sense. It's a t-shirt. I got this at Walmart for $10.
Yeah.
It's a shirt.
Like, I was going to support by buying a vinyl from a band just online, on an online store.
Oh my, shipping?
With shipping included, it was about 70 for everything included.
Yep.
So maybe it was £25 for the vinyl itself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And 40 for the shipping.
Yeah, I went to buy, so my friend Kala just put out his record. It's called Diary of a Depressed Creative. It came out, got like a week or two ago. And I went to buy it because I'm like, this is my boy. I want to support him. And I went to buy his vinyl. And it was the same deal. It was like, hell yeah, like 25, 30, but whatever it was. Like, yeah, I'll pay that. And I go to check out, and the shipping was more than the record. And I was like, okay, I'm not paying $100. Like, I love you to death. I'm not paying $100 for this.
No. I mean, there has been times where I have been very lucky with at least one band who I was supporting. Like, they saw, like, the shipping costs, what that sent to them. And they were able to lower it.
Yeah, yeah. If you care enough to dig around and find solutions,
Yeah.
there usually are solutions. A big issue that happens is the record labels or the management just
Yeah.
kind of oversee all that stuff. A lot of bands are just like, we just want to make music and that's all we want to do, and
Yeah.
everything else is out of our hands. But like, it's not actually out of your hands. You have the
Yeah.
option to get your hands dirty and fix things for your fans, but a lot of bands don't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Like, AFI is one of my favorite bands, and they have a notoriously like horrible merch management team, like among the worst in the industry. Just and it's everyone, you know, in the AFI subreddit and stuff like that. They're always like, "Oh, don't be mad at the band. It's not their fault." It's like, well, who hired the company that manages it?
Yeah.
Probably the band. If not the band, it was the label. Who signed with the label? Again, like, it all traces back to the band. Like, if your band is in a bad merch position, it's because your band put itself in a bad merch position. So it's cool that you've had experiences where the bands have put in the work and actually fix things, because it's possible to do.
Yeah. The worst experience I've had with vinyl is, trust me, I've never ever bought anything from this place because of how expensive it was. But getting a
Right.
vinyl from where was it? I think it was it might have been Sharptone over in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, to get it shipped over here, it was like, so they were doing like I think it was like a buy one get one free sort of vinyl thing, right? They were doing.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the total without the shipping was about 30, so about 30 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
And then the shipping with that included went all the way up to 110.
Yeah, no, I I just purchased a Speedo. I'm gonna wear it in an upcoming video. It's like a it's the Union Jack but a Speedo, and because I used to have one and I lost it, and so I was like, well, I need to buy another one. And so the only place I could find that made the same one, I believe it was in Australia, and it was the same deal. It was like, oh, sick, a $20 Speedo. No, it was an $80 Speedo because the shipping from Australia was so expensive.
Like, the shipping was like 80 Australian dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And,
yeah, but that makes sense, right? Like, they're a secluded island on the whole ass other side of the world from like literally everyone else. It's all ocean around them.
Yeah.
So I get why it's so expensive, but like, it's a lot. Shipping's crazy.
So the next thing I do want to ask is, what band or artists do you find like really interesting at the moment?
Interesting at the moment. Oh my god. I'm gonna pull up my Spotify listen history because I listen to so much stuff.
Yeah.
That I don't even know what I listen to. So let me just see what I have played recently.
I literally listen to new things every 5 minutes, so
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's hard to remember. Oh, I love Fuzz Pixels. He's a very small, relative in the grand scheme of YouTube, a smaller cover artist from the UK. So he does emo and pop punk stuff.
yeah.
But it's video game music.
Yeah.
So like, there's a
Okay.
lot of like, oh, Castlevania, but it's metal. There's like 80 fucking million of those dudes. There is one guy doing punk covers of video game songs, and it's Fuzz Pixels. I think he's one of the more interesting people. I've been into him for a while, but I'm really into him. I really like Arm's Length. They're guys from they're from around where I'm from. Like I knew them before they were Arm's Length, and then it was cool. I got to watch them become Arm's Length, and they're one of the biggest like emo adjacent bands going right now. I'm really proud of them. Really cool to see what they're doing, and I genuinely like their stuff. Man, who else? I listen to a lot of just dumb old stuff. I'm always interested in what Childish Gambino is gonna do.
Okay.
And I guess story of the year. I'm surprised they're still going, but they are still going, and I really like their new stuff. I just think they're doing cool stuff.
I heard the first 2 singles before the album came out. I thought they were good.
Story of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the singles, but I found the rest of the album to be a bit just fine. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a John Feldman production, and I think that's kind of not to shit talk the man because he's one of my heroes, but the past decade or so, a lot of the albums he produces are very, here are the good songs, here's the rest of the album. Which is a shame because like he did like the first, well, he did all the Used records, but like specifically like that first album by the Used is insane. Like the amount of experimentation musically and from a production standpoint, the emotion in the music. The first Story of the Year record, one of the most sonically pleasing things I've ever heard in my life. He's produced a lot of really cool stuff, and I don't know if like maybe it's just the world he's found himself in. He's working with a lot of major labels where before it was independent artists. Maybe just like his ecosystem changed and that's affected the way he makes records. Like, I don't know, because I'm still relatively young in the grand scheme of things. Maybe I'll do the same thing when I'm his age.
Yeah.
And just start, pumping out songs for the sake of pumping out songs. But I mean, they're good songs still, but I get what you mean. They're just there.
I mean, if there's one particular band or artist that does that in the most cash grabby way possible, it would be Metallica. Metallica.
Wait, who? Sorry.
Metallica.
Oh yeah. 100%.
They just keep rehashing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and I get it because like the people who like Metallica.
Yeah.
Only want that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, we'll just keep writing
the same
riffs. Like it's fine. Cuz like that's what Metallica is. So but I get it because every time they've tried experimenting,
it don't work.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily that it doesn't work, although like with Saint Anger, like it's fair to say that didn't work. But with like other records they've done, I don't know that it's that it didn't work. It's that their fan base is so like, no, Metallica has to be this, that like they're not allowed to change. They have to keep rehashing the same stuff, or like someone's gonna mail them Anthrax or something.
Yeah, I've never been able to get into Metallica. Like
That's fair. I have phases that come and go. My favorite Metallica album is Saint Anger. Just because of like
it's different.
It's different, and like it's got the coolest riffs they've ever written. And like the songs are too long and the production's bad. Yeah. So like I get why people don't like it, and like a lot of the lyrics are cheesy, but the riffs are so badass.
I feel like it could have been a really good album.
If anyone else produced it but Bob Rock, I think it would have been great.
Because it's got the feel to it. It just needs to be better.
It just needs to be good. All they had to do is take what was there and just add a sprinkle of good, and it would have been fantastic.
Yeah. There's one band I want to ask you about because I don't know if you pay attention to anything else other than the emo scene or like that. But what's your opinion on Sleep Token?
Oh, I have an opinion on Sleep Token. So I haven't listened to their new record yet.
Yeah, which you should.
I should, and I am going to at some point. But like. And this isn't me trying to be a contrarian edgelord, but it's just like every time I listen to them, the music analyst part of my brain goes, "This is very, 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 very good music."
Yeah.
But the version of me that like actually enjoys music and loves music, is very indifferent. I think they're an excellent band. They're experimenting with a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm personally like disappointed in myself that it does literally nothing for me. There's a band called Nightlife who does similar experimentation, but it's less like metal oriented and more just like whatever. They blend genres in a very similar way. They have less music out and they're way less popular than Sleep Token. But to me, Sleep Token is just like the metal version of Nightlife. And I think Nightlife is better insofar as I'm more excited when Nightlife drops a new song. I really like Nightlife a lot. So like there's bands that do the whole genre melding thing that do it for me. And unfortunately for me, Sleep Token just isn't one of them.
Yeah. Is that the band that do like the R&B stuff?
Yeah, there are a lot of R&B in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're a cool band, but the newer stuff after their first EP, it kind of felt like they were kind of experimenting a bit. And
they're always experimenting. That's just what they do. They just like fuck around and then see what works. I think that's what gets me excited about them.
Yeah.
Is that it's like I don't know what their next song is gonna sound like ever.
Like I feel like the middle stuff was good, but it wasn't quite there. If you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I feel like
with Sleep Token for me. Yeah. Well, for me with Sleep Token too, I think a lot of it is like no one will shut the fuck up about them.
Yeah, I can understand.
And so it's
why.
like I was sick of them before I ever heard a song. Yes. Just because like I literally on Twitter had to like add to my muted terms Sleep Token because no one would stop. Yeah. And it's like there are so many bands and it's like it's great for them and I'm happy for them that they're seeing that level of success, but like everyone would just go on. And so like I would listen to the new songs that everyone's going on about and I would have that sensation I described to you before. I'm like, yes, this is a good song, but like it doesn't make me feel anything.
Yes, same thing with the over talked about sort of thing with like Bad Omens. Like they are just ridiculously over talked.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands. It just kind of that's just what happens, right? Like the scene will cling to a band, and for the next 2 to 3 years, that's the only band you're ever going to hear about, and there's just no way around that. That's always it's cyclical. Like back in 2006, it was Under Oath, right? Like everyone in the hardcore scene, you couldn't have a conversation about it without talking about Under Oath. Yeah.
Okay, I wanna ask you about it because this is just your choice, but
sure.
What type of guitars are your favorite?
Gibson Les Paul Studios with a classic 57 pickup in the bridge. That is my favorite guitar. Yeah. I love that thing. I record most of my stuff with it. I film a lot of my videos with my Telecaster, but that's because I record everything and then I film the videos after. Yeah. So I'll record everything generally with the Les Paul, but Les Pauls are heavy and Telecasters are light. So when I'm going to be standing for 4 to 8 hours filming all day, I would rather have a Telecaster strapped to my shoulder than a Les Paul.
Yeah, I have an Epiphone Les Paul just sat over there. And it was so weird when I got it because that's not what I was originally going to get when I went.
Right.
And when I was looking for a new guitar, but one of the guys who were working in the music store that I went to found me a really good deal.
Okay.
And it was ridiculously cheap.
How much did you get it for?
It was $150.
Nice.
And I was like,
that's awesome.
What? In this condition?
And what was it? Just like used but in awesome condition, or what was the deal?
It was used but in really good condition.
That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Like I was really surprised. Like the strings even were still workable.
Right, and even then, it's like what $10 for a pack of strings. Like that's easy enough to just change them.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do that eventually just because they were getting all rusty. but
Yeah.
it worked.
I change mine a lot. I change my strings like every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
I'm really terrible at that.
Yeah, well, for me, it's because I record music for a living, right? So, like, strings sound their best when they're fresh. So it's basically once they don't sound like I just put them on anymore, it's like, okay, got to get rid of them.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes me longer than 2 to 4 weeks to actually get them changed. So
yeah, like before I was recording all the time, it was like maybe every 3 to 6 months. Like I didn't care.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'd just go until it wouldn't actually. I've only broken one string in my life, but I would go until, like you said, when like you start seeing gunk on them.
Yeah. Wait,
I'd be like, oh, okay.
You've only broken one string.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't happen as often anymore, but
Right.
I used to be breaking strings like nearly every 1 to 2 weeks.
It's wild.
Because
now I don't know why I'm so lucky. See, for me it wasn't even my guitar. So there was a period from like 2017 to 2019 where I didn't make music. I actually quit making music for a little while.
Yeah.
But I only knew music, so I worked at a music store so I could at least know what I was talking about when I was at work. And so this is the guitar string I broke. I was tuning up a guitar for a customer to show them the guitar.
Yeah. And
just while I was tuning it, it broke. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I've never broken a string before. Like,
yeah. If I was by myself and a string broke, I would have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
No? Do you not change your own?
No, I do. I'll let my guitar teacher do it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I find it like relaxing. Like it's scary the first time you do it, 'cause you're gonna mess it up. Like the first time I restrung my guitar, I did them like the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And so everything was like wrapping around the outside instead of the inside, and it looked stupid, and it wasn't holding tune properly, and it was a mess. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty sweet. Like it's you set aside 15, 20 minutes. You just sit down, you snip off your old strings, and you just spend some time with your little baby. It's a good time.
There's one thing that really bothers me that people do, and that is, when you leave the end of the string like not in the top.
Yes.
It's like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, I call those nipple hairs. I don't know where that comes from, but I've just always referred to the dangly bits as nipple hairs.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's a gross thought and it like convinces people to trim them. like bro, just trim your nipple hair. It's grossing me out.
Yeah, that also could be dangerous in my opinion, leaving that on end. Yeah,
no, you could literally take an eye out.
Yeah, you could slash your own arm by doing that probably.
Yeah, like it's risky business. Like you pick up the guitar and right in your eye hole.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing I want to ask you is, if you weren't doing what you are doing now, what would you be doing?
Okay, so let's exclude the version where I was a music store guy. Let's take music completely out of it.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd be producing. If I wasn't producing, I'd be working at a guitar store. But that's not interesting or fun. I think what I would like to do is like stand-up comedy. I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if I'm funny or well-spoken enough to pull it off. I don't know if I'm witty or original enough to pull it off, but I really like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I work a lot of humor into the covers I do. Whether or not other people think it's funny is that's up to the viewer, but like I am having the time of my life when I'm making my videos and like typing up the joke subtitles, because all my videos have subtitles and they're not always actually the lyrics I'm singing. I put jokes in the background. I think it would be a lot of fun to get in front of people and try to make a room full of people laugh for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
I could see you doing that.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for saying that. That's maybe when I age out of music, I'll become one of those jaded music stand-up comedians, because that's totally a thing. Like that's like a whole genre of stand-up comedy, is like Henry Rollins.
Yeah. Just as long as you
Like
don't get yourself cancelled, is what I'm gonna say.
I think I'd be okay. I think I'd be okay.
The sensitivity.
Yeah, and I tend not to, if I can help it, be an asshole.
Yeah.
And I think generally speaking, the people who get canceled were being an asshole.
Yeah.
To some extent, right? Like they were not being inclusive of people different than them, or they were being a sex pest or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
right? Like I don't do that shit. So I think I would be okay. I don't see myself getting canceled.
No.
I'm trying to think of a circumstance where I would, and I just, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, it's a bit of a longer question I've got on this one, so
yeah,
give
let's
me
do it.
To try and read it.
Yeah, absorb it.
How do you keep a positive mindset when doing all the covers you do? Because obviously you do a lot of covers. You know, without getting drained or anything like that.
Yeah, I take breaks.
Yeah.
I take a lot of breaks. If I'm tired, I stop. There are other YouTubers, they put out a video every week. And I did that for like a year and a half. I was putting out weekly covers, and then I started noticing I was getting burnt out. And so I just like stopped. And I didn't like quit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just not going to put out a video this week.
No.
And then it was fine. Like my channel kept growing, my videos kept getting views, and I was like, okay. So now every time I if I'm not fully in love with the cover I'm working on, I'll stop working on it. If I don't have a good idea for a cover, I just won't put a video out that week. So like right now, literally as of today, I believe, it's been 2 weeks since I put a cover out on YouTube, and I haven't even started my next one because I'm just like, I'm tired right now. I don't know, you know. Yeah. So I think that's really what it is because I struggle a lot with like mental health issues, and like I just recently went back on my medication for ADHD, so like I'm all over the place. Because my body's adjusting to these new chemicals, and it's like right now I'm not in a mindset, like I'm a little exhausted and I'm going through all this other stuff, and it's like if I try to make something right now, I'm just gonna get frustrated, and that's not the kind of relationship I want to have with music. I think music should be fun and it should be a source of joy. So when it's not a source of joy, I just don't do it. You know, I'll play the new Zelda instead.
Yeah, just do something else.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think taking breaks is huge, and a lot of other cover artists don't take breaks. It seems like everyone's afraid of it. They think the algorithm is going to forget about them, and that's not true. That is actually a lie. That is a holdover from like an older version of YouTube, because like the algorithm's always changing. But like I can say firsthand, my channel is doing better right now during this like little hiatus I'm taking than it was taking in the couple weeks prior when I was putting videos out every week.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, you don't have to keep putting stuff out all the time.
I remember when I first started this channel that I went way overboard. Like really
Everyone
overboard.
does.
Like
everyone does.
I remember I did something ridiculous, like I think it were about 7 to 10 videos a day.
Holy fuck.
I pretty much destroyed myself by doing that.
Yeah, that's wow.
Like I must have spent like maybe 10, 11 hours a day just video editing.
Right? That's wild. That's wild.
I don't do that now.
No. Because like I think the thing with YouTube, the like YouTube views each channel as like there's going to be something that draws people in to each YouTube channel. So I think the cool thing about you making so many videos, and I think this is a good thing when you think about it in the big picture, is you got to find out really quickly what kind of videos you like to make.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing is figure out what you love to do, figure out what you're good at, and figure out what anybody wants to watch. And if you can find something that's all three of those things, that's it. That's all you have to do. Do the thing that you're good at, that you like, that people enjoy watching. And that's literally it. That's the secret to YouTube. Also having thumbnails that don't look like cluttered dog shit. I've got some friends who there's just like so much text and like other artists and then also their face, but like their face is hiding behind the text. And it's like, why is your face even there if you're going to hide it behind the text? Like there's so much you need to do in terms of like thumbnail design and video titles to like make something actually worth clicking in the first place.
Yeah.
But behind that, you need to have something that clearly you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
So
like for you, it would be like
hard,
interviewing.
When
Absolutely.
When I'm doing pretty much the same content all the time.
Right.
Pretty much.
But I think for you, like interviewing different people from different walks of life, that, you know, to some degree you have a shared interest with them, I think is the way to go, because the best videos are the videos made by people who are passionate about them.
This is the sort of content I know I needed to do for my channel, because this is just different content to what I would normally do.
Yep.
And it just helps with, you know, not putting out the same titles pretty much nearly all the time.
Right. Yeah, it broke it up for you.
Yeah. Because it also gives me the chance to get to know people that I've probably never even talked to before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why, like, I love doing podcasts, because it's like I'm a total fucking hermit. Like, I leave the house to get groceries. Sometimes I'll go for a walk, like, by myself. But, like, I don't, like, hang out with people. It's not, like, that's not a thing I enjoy doing, generally. So it's like, if it wasn't for, like, you inviting me onto this podcast, it's like, I would have spoken to, like, maybe 4 total humans this whole week. And most of those conversations would have been, your groceries are $70. Thank you. Have a good day. Like,
oh, like I used to be the same, but I think since the COVID happened, it's made me be the opposite of that.
I love that. I'm really happy for you for that. For me, it made me go even more hermit. I was excited. I was like, wait, I have to stay inside? I could just do. You're telling me by law I have to stay away from other people? Okay. That sounds great.
Because I'm very, very fast. I'm very fast to get bored. Like, I'll get bored.
Right.
I'll get bored very quickly. Which is,
okay.
Which means I have to be doing something all the time.
Yes. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I have to be doing something.
Yeah. And that's why I like, you know, with the music, there's so many, like, I have to think of the concept. I have to do the drums, bass, guitar, singing, mixing, film the video, edit the video, come up with the thumbnail, all that. There's so much to do with YouTube that it keeps me busy. Because I'm the same way. Like, I get bored easily, but I've been doing a good job of not being bored. But there's a while back, I was wearing like a heart monitor to just get some stuff checked out. And so it was basically like, it had all these wires on me. And I was like, I can't move. I can't play guitar. And for the first time in years, I felt the sensation of boredom.
Okay.
Holy shit! Being bored sucks!
Yeah.
Like, it is terrifying, because, like, you're this, like, mass of infinite potential as a human being.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing anything with it, That is like existentially terrifying. Like I was, because I couldn't do anything. I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Like, I think, I mean, it's not going to be very affordable when it comes to my future, but
Right.
I just love going to gigs all the time. So
Oh man, yeah.
that will probably need to be reduced a little bit.
Right, especially with ticket prices doing what they're doing.
Yeah, because it's literally just not affordable at the moment.
Yeah. Unless you can find some like good local gigs.
Yeah, unless it's just easy cheap ones that you can just get into.
Like $5-10, get in the door.
Yeah.
See some bands nobody's ever heard of.
Because when you get to know some of the bands sometimes, like, there's a local band near me, they're a black gaze band. And, And they, since I've got to know them, they've done, like, maybe some, like, cheap tickets sometimes, if they're supporting somebody. Like, half the price of what it normally is.
Right.
Which always helps. Because,
yeah, of course.
Because I've pretty much I think the first time they did anything was after maybe the second lockdown in the UK here.
Oh, right. I forgot there were several of them.
I think it was July, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
That was the first time, I ever got back to a gig in that year.
Wow.
Because strangely enough, the last official gig before the first lockdown was January, which was literally just before.
Wow.
And
yeah. Because it was March when everything went nuts, right?
Yeah. And the last band that I saw before the lockdown was actually Sleep Token.
That's cool. That's cool. So you've been into them since way back.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was one of those people that was there back when the first album came out.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. No, you're OG. You are cooler than everybody I know.
Yeah.
I'm putting that on the record now because everyone else just started talking about them all the time.
Yeah.
But you're day one. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, and the coolest thing that happened at that show, it was a bit of a messy day to say the very least because I wasn't feeling well that day when I got there.
Right.
And I still went to the show. Almost dying, but it was still fun.
I had that. I went to see Thursday. I don't know what sickness I had, but as I was standing in the venue, I felt my body just I
literally couldn't speak because of how bad I felt. And the best part about it was that I was literally side stage of where they were playing.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
I was literally just I could see the guitarist just looking at me.
So cool, man. I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was there pretty early.
Yeah, no, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, the only problem with the venue is that, of course, it's January, and it was freezing cold.
Oh no, was there no heat in the venue?
No, it's literally just like a warehouse.
I love those shows.
Yeah.
You just find a big room and put a bunch of instruments in it.
Yeah, it was very, very cold, but it was worth it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I've been rambling on way too much, so let's move on.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's move on to...
That was a cool story.
Let's move on to the next question. These are just general questions now, so...
Sure, yeah.
Pineapple on pizza?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not my go-to, but, I'm fine with it. I don't get what the big deal is.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I've never actually had pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, it's fine. If you... I don't know. If you don't like it, I get why.
Yeah.
But, I'm okay with it. I never think to put it on.
In your head, it sounds really weird, but it's probably not.
Well, and that's like most food, right? Like my dad didn't eat pizza, like any pizza, until he was
Okay.
17 or 18 years old, because the thought of just a bunch of cheese and tomato sauce on bread was the grossest thing he could think of. And like when he broke it down to me like that, I was like, you know what? Pizza is kind of gross to think about. Like it's just a bunch of melted animal fat
On dough.
on tomato sauce? Like that's the most bland, boring sounding concept on paper.
Yeah.
But it's also the most delicious food on the whole planet. So
Favorite thing to drink?
sugar-free Red Bull.
Okay.
Easy.
So you're an energy drink
Easy.
sort of person.
Yeah. No, I got what it's right here.
Oh,
This
okay.
this video has been brought to you by Red Bull. So I alternate. I'll have 2 cans on the go. I've got a Red Bull and a water, so that I'm not just drinking Red Bull all day.
Yeah,
But
'cause that
I'll have
won't
like
be good.
one or two. I'll have 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah. Speaking of energy drinks,
Yeah.
I would never drink one myself because of all the stuff in them. But
Right.
I know somebody who is absolutely obsessed with energy drinks to the point
Okay.
of like, I think he said he had 7 energy drinks in a day.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that was
He's gonna die.
that was my thought.
Oh, that's crazy. 7.
Yeah. And that,
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah, that was
Especially
that was just insane.
that is insane. They've got one called Rain Energy here.
Okay.
It's something like 240 milligrams of caffeine per can. Now,
Okay.
for comparison, this baby little Red Bull here is like 80 milligrams of caffeine, which is this is a cup of coffee, essentially. They've got energy drinks that are 3-4 times as much caffeine in them. That stuff horrifies me because like I'm not into energy drinks as like a concept.
Yeah.
It's just like I just really like sugar-free Red Bull. I don't know, it just does it for me. But because like if I have the one with sugar in it, I crash so hard and I get all jittery and it's awful. But for some reason with the sugar-free one, it's just like, oh, this is fine. I'm awake now.
If I was
It's basically what I do instead of coffee.
If I was to have like anything sort of related, it would probably be like matcha.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is-
matcha's good. What?
Just because it's kind of better for you, but it's
Yep. No, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
still
Way less
got-
chemicals.
Still got stuff in it though, which you need to be careful with. But
Of course. But I mean, so does.
yeah,
I mean, you eat enough of anything. But what's your favorite drink?
mine. I mean, at the moment, the because I've just brought them over to the UK not that long ago. The American Fantas. You know,
Oh,
like,
Fantas are good. Fanta's good. They've got good flavors.
yeah, like the American ones are like the best ones.
Yeah. I don't drink soda at all, but
Yeah,
when I did, I really liked Fanta.
yeah. Speaking of which,
What flavor's that?
that is pineapple.
Hell yeah. So just dip your pizza into that and you'll get an idea of
Like really, just like sugary pizza.
soggy, sugary pizza.
Like, I'm like the standard Fanta ones aren't that amazing, to be honest. They're just kind of just sugar,
Yeah.
sugar with no taste.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean there is obviously a flavor, but it's not really
Right.
anything special.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Okay, favorite album.
Okay, so historically, my favorite album is Sing the Sorrow by AFI.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually listened to that album in like a very, very long time. So when I sit and actually think about like what is my favorite album, I think the Used self-titled record is really good.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Define the Great Line by Under Oath. I think Louder Now by Taking Back Sunday is a perfect album. Translating the Name by Seosin, that first EP was awesome. I mean, everything they do is awesome, but I really like Translating the Name. And then Ninja Sex Party's third album, I think it's called Cool Patrol. I think that might be one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that.
Ninja Sex Party?
Yeah.
Like ever? Like, do you know who they are?
Like, I've heard the name, but I've never heard anybody talk about them.
Oh man, they're just a dumb, silly.
Yeah.
They should be canceled, but just because it's so obviously satire that it's like so hypersexualized that it's a joke. I love that band. I think they're so fun.
Yeah. There was a band, but I don't know what they are doing at the minute, just because problems or whatever it is.
Right.
But 12 Foot Ninja.
I've never heard of them.
They used to be really entertaining, but recently they kind of just fell off. Like they used to make the most ridiculous music video intros I've seen.
Said it was 12 Foot Ninja.
I've forgotten the name of the song.
Yeah, 12 Foot Ninja.
There's
Heavy metal band from Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, they broke up.
Yeah, they.
Or no, indefinite hiatus.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the. So why?
But if I was to guess, they're probably not going to come back.
Oh, the singer left.
Just because of all the problems that it sounded like they were having.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they were just shedding band members for a bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bassist left and then the singer left.
They only have one good album, in my opinion. That's their first album.
Silent Machine.
Like they the first albums. I think it's 2 albums or 1 album. I think it's 2 they've got out. But
they've got 3.
All right, so maybe the second one then. The second one's probably my favorite one because it sounds like them.
Right? Is it the one with the red album cover?
I'd have.
Or is it the one with the ninja star?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I think it is that one.
And there's one with an arcade emerging out of some rocks.
Yeah.
That's actually a really sick album cover. That's their 3rd record.
I think that's the newest one, I think.
Yeah, that is the newest one.
Which I think is actually their worst album. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they were just kind of slowly going downhill the whole time. That's a shame.
Like, the production on the album was really weird. Like.
Oh.
Like, it sounded like everything was a bit out of place.
I'm gonna listen to that when we're off this call because I want to hear that. I'm always fascinated by poorly produced music.
Because
it does something for me.
Because they did a song with I think it is Tatiana from Ginger. But
okay.
But that I feel like that should have been good, but it wasn't.
Those are always the most heartbreaking collaborations when you're like, oh, these guys are working together, right? And then you listen to it and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, there's so many bad collaborations that I've seen. What's one that you really are disappointed by?
Oh man, God, I can almost hear it. I think it was Mark Hoppus sang on an Avril Lavigne song on her newest record.
Okay.
And I really liked the new Avril record, and I fucking love Mark Hoppus. But that song did nothing for me at all, and I was pretty disappointed by that.
Yeah.
But all that said, that record rips.
Yeah, if you were to take that out of the equation.
Yeah, it's like I think that it's a shame because it had all the makings of being like that should have been my favorite song on the record.
Yeah.
And it might be my least, which is just that's a bit of a shame. But I mean, it happens, right? Like every song can't be for everybody.
No, course not. Okay, I'm gonna add a question in that I didn't add in, just as a bonus.
Yeah.
Favorite video games?
Oh my god. Okay, so I love the first 3 Donkey Kong countries.
Okay.
Those are, if I'm gonna just play a game for say half an hour to an hour, just sit down, play any video game, Donkey Kong Country. If I've got like a whole day to kill, I'm gonna play Banjo-Kazooie, no questions asked. If I've got say 2 to 3 days to kill, maybe I'll do some speed running in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake.
Okay.
There was a short while I was number 4 in the world on the School 2 level, because it has a speed run mode. Because like, have you played the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games?
I played the remaster that came out.
Okay. So you know how like each level has like the 10 goals you have to complete, right?
Yeah.
So the speedrun mode is do all 10 of those goals in as little time as possible. And like, so it's insane. You have to like think about the routing and how you're going to maneuver the course to like get all the high scores while getting all the collectibles, while like exploiting glitches to like bounce off walls to like rocket yourself back the other way. It's a lot of fun. I really like the speedrun mode in that game. So if I have like a whole weekend to kill, I'm going to spend it doing that. And then I would say, other than Donkey Kong, Banjo-Kazooie, and Tony Hawk, the new Zelda game that just came out, I haven't finished it, so I can't say definitively that it's my favorite, but I'm having a really good time with it in a way that I haven't had a good time with a video game probably since that Tony Hawk remake.
Yeah, not to be that guy, but this is a really, really hot take that everyone I've talked to doesn't like, but
Okay.
I don't think the new Nintendo games are that great.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I was all stoked for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I might have played it for 2 hours. I got so fucking bored.
Yeah.
Like, and same with Animal Crossing. Like, that was another, like, it came out, and like, I played a lot of it because it came out right when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Again, it was like, this is a very empty, shallow game. So I get what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of, especially what they did with fucking like the Super Mario series. Like the new Super Mario. Like, they're just these empty, soulless, joyless experiences. I get what you're saying. I totally, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. 100%. The exception to that for me would be the new Zelda is really fucking cool, because it's basically like Assassin's Creed meets like Minecraft meets, I don't even fucking know what, meets an old traditional Zelda game. Because I thought Breath of the Wild, it was a very like kind of empty feeling game to me. And like a lot of the dungeons felt just stupid. I wasn't having fun doing the dungeons in Breath of the Wild, but in Tears of the Kingdom, I'm having a blast.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I have liked recently with Nintendo is probably Mario Kart games. Because they're always fun.
They're always fun. For me, that series peaked with Double Dash on the GameCube, which I never even had a GameCube. I got it years later, and I play it on my Wii. But I think that's the best one. But you're right, though. They're a really fun series. Mario Kart's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What do you... I mean, I have an opinion on it, so I want to hear yours. It's yours first.
Sure.
What do you think of, like, just Souls-like games in general? You know, like Dark
Souls-like
Souls,
games?
like Dark Souls. Like that.
They do nothing for me. I like I like platformers, and I like puzzles.
Yeah.
And to me, the Souls-like games have like those are the two things I enjoy, and those games have like none of that. Or like there's a bit of a puzzle aspect, but it's like overshadowed by the brutality of like the combat. I don't like games where I need to have fast reflexes in 3D.
Yeah.
If it's a 2D like a platformer like Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
I'm okay with having to have fast reflexes there. But once there's a third dimension, it's like, okay, I need time to like orient myself and think. And the Souls-like games don't give me that. They're pretty brutal and fast-paced. What's your feeling about them?
I really just feel like they're a little bit, no pun intended, but soulless, to be completely honest.
Agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel complete.
Yeah, I get that. And a lot of it feels like it's hard for the sake of being hard.
Yeah. My brain is just like, if it's not passable, I'll just leave it.
Right. I get that.
I'll just stop playing it.
Or like any sort of game that has like a bullet sponge kind of boss where it's like, it's got 80 million health. You're going to be sitting here for an hour. It's like, that's not fucking fun. That has never been fun in any video game ever. If I can't beat this boss within 10 minutes, it is not fun anymore. And maybe that's because I have ADHD. But I can't handle anything that like, if any given task takes more than 10 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to get into Final Fantasy, right? But I can't because it's too much.
Man, what's heartbreaking for me, I grew up playing the shit out of those games. Like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like those are like, I played those games to death. Even the first one I played for quite a while. And I love those games. And like when the remake came out, I played that, the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
But like every now and then I'll go and I'll try to play like Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy IX again. And it's like, I don't know if it's because like technology and society is moving faster and it's changed the way my brain works, but like I can't do it. I get what you're saying. I cannot play like Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And I can't get past the opening area because I get bored. Yeah. And it's my favorite one. And I'm like, no, this is boring. I'm done. Like,
I mean, even if it's like the remakes, it's still a lot to get into.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack. Like, if the remake didn't come out during the lockdown and the pandemic, I don't think I would have finished it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have.
I actually started playing the game. I probably got about, I don't know, maybe about 5 hours in. And
right. So you just started. like those games are so long.
And then I just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah. And that's a thing, right? Like with an RPG, they're so long that like you can play it for 6, 7, 8 hours. And like that's a huge investment. If you don't play it for a week and you go back to it, you don't remember what you were doing.
Yeah.
And so you just have to start again. Yeah. And then you're just back where and it's an endless loop. I do that with Final Fantasy VIII every time I play it. I'll get in so far and then I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go.
Yeah, that's what I like about story games. They're just shorter and easier to get through.
Yes. And I like games like Inside on the PC where you're just a little puzzle. You can beat it in like 3 hours. I love games like that. Love games like that.
Like the maximum length I will go in terms of what my brain can keep playing is probably about 10 hours for a full game. Yep. Just because it's too much.
That's reasonable. Yeah, that's I feel the same way about most games.
Yeah.
The one exception being again the Tears of the Kingdom, but like that game does such a good job of like it's got a list of all your objectives just like in a menu somewhere, and so it's like it's impossible to like feel like you have nothing to do, which is kind of nice. There's always something to do, and there's like a list you can go ask, like, hey, what's something I can do right now, and you just pick one and then off you go. Where with other open world games, a lot of times they'll just like plop you in a world and they're like, have fun. It's like, I can't have fun. I forget what I was doing. I can't do it.
Yeah. like I saw the announcement, like the date trailer for the new Alan Wake game yesterday, and
Oh,
and I'm very disappointed with what they've brought out. To be completely honest,
yeah.
like
What's going on with it?
the gameplay looks good, but
Right.
the way that they are releasing it is not good.
Oh
Like,
no.
it's digital only for starters,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and it's
I like having games.
and it's full price.
Of course it is.
Full price digital only. Like
Yep.
you're
And
you're immediately
full price is more now.
You're immediately putting me off from buying it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because it's nice just to have something.
Yeah, I've always been a physical games person.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just always just better.
Yeah. Like I will buy digital versions of, like, say I have like I have Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
Like the discs, right? If I want to play it on like my Switch, I'll buy the digital version on the Switch.
Yeah.
But like only because I already have it. I am like less inclined to buy other classic games on the Switch or the PlayStation stores because it's like I don't have anything.
Like if you were to convince me into buying a digital only game at full price, I would have to have some way of getting something back on it, if you know what I mean. Like
Right.
you know,
Yeah, like an ability to resell it
yeah.
somehow. Like a used game marketplace.
Yeah.
That would be a great way to launder money, actually.
That's
That would be a great
I was thinking about that all day today just because of the Alan Wake game.
Right.
Just because it would be so much better.
Yeah, I think it would be good to have it, but like I understand why they don't have it, because like, what is a used digital game? Like, what is that? That's just the same game,
Yeah.
right? Like someone just gets it at a discount later. So I get why it doesn't exist, and also it would be a great way to launder money, which would be a problem. But
the problem with digital only though is that they never come down in price. Like
very rarely.
very rarely.
Very rarely. Very, very rarely. You're right.
Like if
You're right.
If you can get it to £15 or under, I will buy it. But if not,
Yep.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Or like a free time period where you can download it.
Demos. I miss
Yeah.
demos. And like some games still do have them.
Where's the demos nowadays?
Yeah. I think what they do, and they expect us to go on YouTube and watch someone else play it and decide if we want to play it.
Yeah.
I think that's really what they want us to go on YouTube and Twitch and get invested in someone else's playthrough. Or they want us just to buy it full price to find out if we like it or not.
Yeah, which is too risky, to be honest, for me.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's just a very capitalist move.
Like, I don't even earn enough to be able to like just go out and buy it like full price.
Yeah.
Like,
Games are expensive.
Like it's just not reasonable.
Yep. I agree with that.
So, before we yabber on too much, let's move on to the next question, which is
Sure, yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Oh man, I love sushi. I love Vietnamese stir fry. I think they do stir fry the best of anyone.
Yeah.
So there's this grocery store near me, and every other microwave red curry I've ever had in my life has been total dog ass. But this particular one is by I think it's called Authentic Asia Cuisine is the name of it.
Okay.
But I've been eating those every day for like a month. Like they're so good. So somewhere between Vietnamese stir fry, sushi, and that one particular chicken red curry microwave dinner.
Yeah.
I would say those are my favorite foods.
Like, I don't really eat like enough like like restaurant-y sort of styles of food necessarily a lot.
Right.
So it would be more like sweet stuff that I would pick.
Okay, so
So there's one thing that I have been really, really like obsessed with, and it's probably becoming a bit too much to be completely honest.
Right.
I'm not sure if you have them over there, but they're called flumps.
They're called what?
Flumps.
Flumps?
Yeah, they're like marshmallow sort of things.
Oh, those look cool. Like spirally?
Yeah, they're spirally coloured marshmallows.
I feel like we used to have. I've seen these before.
Like
Maybe they had a different name.
maybe so.
That is cool. All these are cute.
Yeah, they are so sugary though.
Oh, it's all sugar. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't care though because it's just addictive.
Man, that looks really good. That
Like-
looks. I've totally had these before. I don't know where and when, but I have had these.
Like a lot of the times I used to see people using flumps was when people used to do those challenges where you're kind of like you had to keep putting one of them in at a time.
Yeah.
You keep filling your mouth up and you have to keep saying things without spitting it
Yes. Yeah.
out. Like they were pretty disgusting challenges to be completely honest, but
Oh, 100%. You just drool sticky sugar everywhere.
yeah, just slimy, just stuff coming out of your mouth, just yeah.
No, I just looked up on blighties.com. There's one review for flumps. It is a
Okay.
5 out of 5 review.
Okay. Is it
The
funny?
greatest thing. It's pretty funny. The greatest thing ever. And now my kids are addicted to not only eating them, but saying the word flump.
You can make so many
That's
dad
it.
jokes with that. You can make so many dad jokes.
Where do they ship to? Can I buy these?
I don't know, but I
Oh my god, they're in Canada.
really.
It's a British store in Canada.
Huh.
I could buy 27 flumps right now.
Well, don't blame me if you get diabetes.
Okay, let's get like. How much is it if I get 5 flumps?
I don't know.
I'm finding out right now. We're doing this. We're buying flumps. How do I check out? Go to my cart.
Because-
Check out. Okay, so it's $4 for the flumps.
I imagine Canada's pretty expensive for that sort of thing.
Okay, let's. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Put in my email address. I'm buying flumps live on air. Unless the shipping's outrageous. Oh no, they texted a code to my phone.
Oh no.
It's cool. I got my phone right here. Okay, enter my security code for my shop account. It's for shipping.
Wait, what?
Man, I gotta buy a lot more flumps to justify that.
Wait, how much?
$10
Wait, for how many?
for 5 little flumps.
Wait, 5 little like lengthy ones? Or
It's the lengthy ones, yeah.
okay, that is a lot.
It's a lot of shipping. That's a lot of shipping.
Like, you know,
That's a shame.
considering you can just probably go into a store and buy them yourself, like maybe
They're less than $1 each. They're 89
Exactly.
cents.
exactly.
Man, it would be cheaper to drive to Orangeville and buy them.
Yes.
But hold on here. I think this is a whole store. So do they have like chocolate? Oh my god.
Whoa.
Cadbury Flakes? Crunchy Cadbury? Oh my god, they've got Lion Bars, Wispa Gold.
Ooh.
Man, we don't have any of that shit. Oh, there's a whole world of British candy here.
Yeah.
Biscuits! They have a biscuit section. Oh shit, Jaffa cakes.
Yeah. Wait, have you?
Fig rolls.
There might be something similar over where you are, but there's these like little like sweet burgers over here in the UK, like called like gummy
Okay.
gummy burgers.
Oh, we totally have those.
Yeah, like they're addictive as well.
Oh, Haribo Gold Bears, drumstick squashies. Oh, there's so much cool stuff here. Are there no burgers on this website? I know we have them in general. I just don't see them.
Yeah.
Ew, gross. Oh my god. This isn't just candy. This isn't just candy. I could buy haggis.
Wait, what?
What? Wait, what? What? I can buy Fairy brand dish soap.
Okay.
This is amazing. It's just a whole store of imported British things.
Surely that. Surely that.
Wow.
Surely that costs a lot.
What's up?
That would cost a lot, if I'm correct.
But yeah, but the store's in Canada.
Like, there's an actual store you can go to.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a 3-hour drive away from me.
Oh God.
We don't have McLean's fresh mint toothpaste,
Okay.
but they do. This is crazy. Anyway, sorry about that tangent there. I just didn't know the store existed.
Yeah. Okay. Just okay. Favorite places you have visited?
You know what? I don't want to be that guy,
Go on.
but I'm gonna be that guy. L.A., Santa Monica. When Cal and I did the music videos for Lately and I Don't Want to Be Here Anymore, he flew me down there for the week to make those videos. And despite being away from like my wife and my cats, and like everything I know and love, like I don't leave the house. Like I love being home. I really don't like not being home. I felt so at home there, and I don't know if it's because Kala and his wife are such wonderful people that they made me feel at home. I don't know if it was because LA is just actually that fucking cool. Maybe it was a combination of the two, but for sure, that's my favorite place that I've been. Whenever I get crazy big YouTube rich, if that ever happens, I want to move there. Like I had such a good time there the whole week I was there that I was just like, you know what? I want to just be here forever.
Yeah. I've never been, and I've personally heard a lot of mixed things about LA. Like,
it depends where, because LA isn't a city. LA is like a county. So like if you go to Inglewood, you're probably gonna get stabbed. Like there's places, right? Like there's really sketchy places there. Hollywood is like really shallow and weird and sad. But like Santa Monica specifically is just really nice. Yeah. Just a really nice, cute little area. If you go outside of Santa Monica, there's some sketchy areas. There's like lots of issues with homelessness in LA. Yeah. Like huge homeless issues where there's just like a huge population and no one knows what to do about it. But for the small area I was in was very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Because even though it'd be probably expensive and obviously a long way for me to get to. Yeah,
very, very expensive.
I definitely would want to one day when I eventually can. But if I wasn't getting flown out there to make a music video for a record label kind of situation, like I would have never gone. Yeah. Just because it looks like the actual America, if you know what I mean. Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Because I went to Florida. And,
oh no.
And let's just say it is not how it is advertised.
Yes. No. Florida is something special. Even Northern California is interesting. A lot of the I've gone through like Georgia, Kentucky, Indiana, sort of that like Midwestish, Southish kind of area. It's very a lot of it's dreary and sad, and like it feels
Yeah.
oppressive. Like even like driving, because like I'm only a few hours away from New York, but like as soon as I cross the Canada-US border, as soon as I'm on the US side,
Yeah.
I feel like anxious and on edge.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the way they design their streets or if there's something in the air. Like I don't know what it is, but like a lot of America is really oppressive and sad and scary feeling. California had none of that.
Yeah.
At least the small area of it that I was in.
Because I remember, like, just obviously Florida was the first place in the US I have been to. So,
Right.
And let's just say it wasn't the best place we could have started.
That's fair. That's fair. Texas and Florida are two very special places on this planet.
Yeah. Because like you always see on like these like food programs these big massive
Right.
plates of food and
Yep.
big burgers and whatever.
Right.
There was none of that in Florida.
No, there wouldn't be. There wouldn't be.
It's literally just normal sizes.
Yeah, no, the big stuff would like a lot of New York restaurants are a little extra.
Yeah.
And they'll give you the big stuff, depending on the restaurant, obviously. Like everywhere's different.
Yeah.
But
because whenever I think of the US, that's the sort of thing I think of, like the big
right,
plates of
just
food.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Like
America loves its food.
so, and we thought whilst we were in Florida, we'd go down to Tampa. That was one of the most depressing places I've ever been to.
Really? I've never been to Tampa.
Yeah, like it was. So,
Wow.
It was so dead. Like,
That reminds me of Detroit.
Yeah.
Very like empty,
Yeah.
sad,
It was,
dilapidated.
It was lifeless. There was nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. And like, was it like a lot of like out of business, like empty buildings and stuff too?
No, everything was.
No?
open.
Okay.
Everything was. Open.
Oh, there's just nothing going on.
There was literally, I probably saw, whilst we were down there, probably at a maximum about 15 people
Wow.
just walking around.
Wow. That's like a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
Wow.
Like,
That's horrifying.
All I can say is that at least the record stores were open.
That's
That's a positive.
yeah.
It was also the weather wasn't that great, so that didn't really help.
That kind of sucks. Especially with Florida, the weather is so unpredictable. Like
Yeah.
it could be this sunny, beautiful day or a literal hurricane. And like
Yeah.
you just don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, well, we got a bit of both whilst we were there.
Yep. Yep. That sounds right.
Because when we got there, it was hot. When we got on the beach, it started raining and storms and literally everything.
That's so upsetting.
So basically, no sunbathing was happening
That's a shame. That's really a shame, man.
for like the entire week.
Yeah.
But I must say, probably the most interesting thing that happened whilst we were in Florida was those kind of like, eat as much as you want sort of places.
I love buffets
Yeah.
so much. I live for buffets. I might go to one today.
Like,
I haven't eaten yet today. I'm thinking big food thoughts right now.
Like, I did not expect the food to taste very nice, to be completely honest.
Right.
But it was actually really good.
That's awesome.
Like, mega cheap stuff as well.
Yep.
Like, I think it must have been like $15.
Yeah, things are very inexpensive depending where you are in the US.
Yeah.
In some of the bigger cities, stuff's a lot more expensive, but if you can find like a nice like medium or small town, you can get a lot of food for really cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't explored, many places in the world.
Hey.
But
Yep.
places that I really the one place that we always just go back to is Greece.
Ooh, that sounds fun. I've never been to Europe at all. I haven't been anywhere over there.
Like, Greece is always just such a nice, relaxing atmosphere.
That's awesome. That's good to know.
Like, you're never gonna really run into any problems.
Right. Yeah, because I've never heard anything bad about Greece, like literally ever.
Like, unless you go, like you said, there's probably dodgy areas everywhere. So,
Oh yeah, everywhere. But
I haven't seen any of those areas yet.
that's fantastic.
Like, if you actually be nice and you talk to the people there, the locals,
Right.
and that, they will remember you for however many more years that you go.
So cool. I love places like that.
Yeah, they will always remember you. They'll always take care of you.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. We have been going for a very long time. We have been going.
A little bit.
We've been going
Almost 2 hours.
for an hour and 35.
Not bad.
And this leads us on to the last question, which
Ooh.
is, if you were to give any advice on someone who wants to get into the industry, what would you give them?
Trust your gut, because the gut always knows. I think the biggest thing is to just find what you're passionate about and do it and keep doing it and keep doing it and just get as good as you can, however you can. I know a lot of people who they're really passionate about music, but they don't improve themselves. They just keep doing the same kind of mediocre stuff again, and again. That is not going to get you anywhere. You should just always try to be better than whatever the last thing you did. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's only going to end in heartbreak. But be a better musician, producer, whatever it is you are. Try to be a better version of that than you were yesterday, and just keep progressing. And as long as you're honest and relatively consistent, I think your audience will find you, and you can have some measure of success, depending, how generally marketable the thing you're trying to do is. Like, obviously, if you're doing like black metal, there's a smaller audience for black metal, right? But if you're, anything pop adjacent, just find your sound, commit to it, and keep grinding at it. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And don't be a snake. That's another piece of advice. Yeah. I can tell when someone hits me up about collaborating or something. Some people do it because they're interested in working with me, because they think it would be fun. Other people hit me up because they kind of see me as the first rung of a ladder of other people to move their way up in the industry. And it's always really obvious who's who. Yeah. I tend not to even reply to a lot of the people that are obviously just, but yeah, I mean, that's really it. Just be yourself and go hard.
Okay, that leads us to the end of the podcast.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I don't know. My name is Todd Barrage. If you don't know me, I'm assuming if you've watched me talk for 2 hours, you might know me already. But in case you don't, I release cover videos on YouTube in the pop, punk, and emo genres at youtube.com/Todd Barrage. That's TODDBARRIAGE. And I assume there's a link in the description or something. I don't know. This isn't going on my YouTube channel. I don't have control over that. But yeah, I mean, that's really it.
Somewhere
up here, somewhere. But yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have. I'm Todd, and I make music, and I really appreciate Sam having me on his podcast.
Thank you, Todd, for getting time out of your day, because I know you said you're a very busy person. So
yeah, oh yeah. So, I got a lot to do today.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that you actually reply back in the first place.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah. Because, like you said, you're a busy person, so.
Yeah. If we can make it work, I'm always happy to do stuff like this. So thank you again for even asking.
Right. Thank you again, Todd, for coming on to the podcast, and everyone go support this lovely person here, and until the next podcast, guys. Peace.
See ya.